Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. So as you can see, I'm doing a hide and spots video, and I do want to clarify that this is not to encourage like really bad camping. One, I think it's good to know these spots in case you've got a camper in your game, and two, take this gameplay for example. I think these spots are good and are useful in the right situation. For example, here I'm coming in, they start nailing me, I've got at least two people to fight. I'm like, you know what, let's quickly grapple up here, try and heal, and they don't even notice I'm up here. And these spots can be so useful, and I would call this aggressive camping. It's something a lot of people criticize me for. They're like, aggressive camping doesn't exist, but I think it does. If you use these spots like in a tactical situation, not just to sit there all game and farm XP or whatever it is you're doing, but if you use it to actually get those kills and play strategically, I do think it can be useful. But let me know your opinion. If you don't like it, that's fair enough, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's jump straight into the spots. Now before we get into the actual main hiding spots on the map, I just wanted to show you this recent discovery, not by me, but basically you can get on top of the world. Literally, you can get on the highest point of the entire Apex map and you don't get kicked off. So as you can see here, you jump off the supply ship going either way, but it has to go over this area of the map, and then you just fly over, climb up this rock, and once you get on top of this rock there'll be no timer. And this is brilliant if you want to go have an explore, see what's like on that other ridge of the map and see all that river, which I always wondered if there might be something hidden over there to do with the story. But if you want to get up here, you're going to need Pathfinder or Octane. Now Pathfinder, in this clip I'm actually just grappling up using my grapple, but you can actually put down a zip line for your teammates. So from the top of here down to that other rock we were on, you can actually put a zip line. So this is not exactly particularly useful, but if you want to go like have a look at the map from this kind of view, it is incredible. As you can see, like the view is amazing, as you probably saw by the thumbnail. But I did try getting a Wraith portal down to here for my teammates. Unfortunately, it just wouldn't reach. But yeah, as I said, not exactly useful, but I did want to point that out because I thought it was pretty cool, personally. Now, moving on with the actual moves, the actual spots in the map for combat usefulness. The house DRAINPIPE. So this house, I found this completely by accident, just a failed grapple, and suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm balancing on the edge of this DRAINPIPE. There's a big old hole, you can shoot through the wall there, and to be honest, I don't think many people are gonna spot you here. As you can see in this clip, I've got no gun, and I'm waiting for the right moment to jump down, and it's the perfect moment, and my teammate comes help, lets me get a weapon, and it's all good. Now, the third one is the Apex sign on the right side, south side of Market. You can get on top of here either with Pathfinder or using the balloon over there. And you can walk along the edges, you just can't walk on the top, and you can sit in this middle section. You can also, right next to that, use a zip line or Octane's jump pad to get up to this spot here. This will not push you off like most spots do, and there is a little barrier at the back, but for the most part you can actually stand on that area. This particular point, like, you can move back enough that you get a bit of defense and you don't actually, you're not just fully exposed sitting on the edge of a cliff. You can actually do a fair bit amount of damage without exposing yourself too much. But as I said, I don't encourage like long-term camping just for actual tactical gameplay. As you could see there, I was pushing those squads and trying to get the damage first. As you can see with number 5, antennas, what I do here is I apply a bit of damage, bait them out, jump up here to show off like how useful these antennas can be. No one really looks up, and like in this clip I was shooting them once in a blue moon to try and do a little bit of damage. So eventually that bloodhound did look up and I had to take him out, but then I can just take out the squad one at a time. I'm able to get that first attack because while they're wandering around like little ants not having a clue where I am, I can get in those first few bullets. and especially with Pathfinder, you're going to be able to control those type of gameplays easily. And every single one of these spots, it's not just Pathfinder that can get in them. Octane with his jump pad can also get in them, and some of the spots in this video, all of the legends can get in, but it is mainly Pathfinder and Octane. As you can see with the Watchtower, there's actually 3 really useful spots with the Watchtower. A lot of people struggle with this location because they just have like the top, the inside, and then the courtyard area, and other than that you're all dropping down. It's quite exposed, not much you can do. So the first spot, as you can see, is the antenna, and the antennas are actually really good because they're quite wide. There's a lot of nooks and crannies. It's actually quite defensive as long as they don't surround you and get, like, for the first beginning, it's quite advantageous. Now the second spot is going to be the window ledges. I don't see anyone using these window ledges. Like, with any character, you can just quickly do a side swipe off the edge, fall down, land on this window ledge, and no one really goes down there. As you can see with Pathfinder here, I quickly grapple to make sure I get in, and then the enemy that was chasing me thinks, obviously, I've just gone down. So now I turn the tables on him just by sitting in that spot for like 2 seconds, and the fight is mine. And the Watchtower has a lot of like nooks and crannies, but I don't really see anyone. I don't even see Pathfinders using them to its full advantage, and they're just used to the inside and the top. They don't really take advantage of this. As you can see with number 8 at the bottom, if you do happen to fall down, you can grapple or jump pad up to this little corner spot, and boom, you're in like this little nook. You can get out the back end as well. You can do this on both sides, and this is brilliant for when you've all dropped down and you're like, it's just a mess down there, and you're able to finish off and just clean up nice and easily. The fact is, I'll use this just for trying to make friends. I'm not gonna lie, having that double window there, you can do like little crouch and interactions with enemies, and I always try to make friends. It never works. They always try to hunt me down, and I end up having to run again and be like, come on bro, and just outplay them, and yeah, karma there. But moving on to number 9, we've got the radar. So this satellite dish, you can actually get onto this using the balloon over in the Shattered Forest, I believe it's called, or the burnt area to the left. There's a balloon there, and you can fly into this satellite. And the fact is, this Pathfinder, he thinks he's being sneaky getting onto the radar, and I'm like, no, Pathfinder, you're getting out Pathfindered right now. There's a Pathfinder right above you, and you don't even realise. But if you do land on this satellite dish, it is a bit tricky. You have to do this like wall climb, but you can actually climb up, and it's very, very easy. If you're Pathfinder, when you're right on the ground floor, you can just grapple hook the dish like that Pathfinder did to get onto the lower level. Now number 10 is this tree on the corner of this little like cliff. They really need to fix this. So essentially, you know, you have that out of bounds timer. Well, it stops that when you're inside this tree. Just in this little particular bit, if you try and go up the branches, it starts counting again. But in this little like stump area of the top of the tree, you can actually just not have the timer, and you can sit in there. And obviously I'm not gonna get a kill in here because it's pretty difficult to, for one, and it would be really cheap of me and scummy if I actually did that. But as you can see, this is one of those spots that you might want to have a little double check in case there's a sniper sitting up there. Now, number 11 is support beams. There are loads of support beams around the map. You're going to see me take perfect advantage of one here. But essentially, like, places in artillery, you've got those little, like, tunnel loot cave things. There's all these support beams, like right here on the roof, that you can do a quick sneak into. Like here, I didn't need Pathfinder's grapple, but I managed to sneak into that little position, and the enemy wasn't sure where I was, went for the hill, and I managed to take the advantage. Number 12 is this building here. You got these bookshelves, and either one of these on either side, as you can see, the Pathfinder just... that people don't look on a lot of these bookshelves and that, and they do in certain spots, 100%. There's certain bookshelves I always check, but I'm showing you the least commonly checked areas. Now, in number 13, AIRBASE sneaky spot. I haven't seen anyone use this spot, and this is actually really sneaky. Look at this, up here. This is a proper little nook and cranny spot, and the fact is it protects you from the above areas, and it also allows you to cover both doorways, which is really useful. Number 14 is electrical units. You see these big electrical units. Most people don't even realize you can actually get on top of this. And you're watching this clip. I can bamboozle the hell out of this Octane, and he's like, whoa, that's a really good idea. And he instantly gets on top and is like, I'm gonna do it too. Because it is a really useful spot, especially when you've got people fighting on either side. And most people don't even know that you can go over that. Most people just assume it goes all the way up to the roof because of the similar colouring. And speaking of similar colouring, there are a couple spots in this area, and if you want me to do a part 2 video, let me know, because there are hundreds of brilliant hiding spots, including a secret waterfall spot that I haven't published yet. But similar colouring, this brown like wooden shelf in this house, people don't really look up here. They look on top of those orange crates, but they never think to look on that brown shelf because it's just like one thin layer across the wall that kind of blends in. No one really goes up there, so it's one of those least common places to check. But as I said, if you want me to do a part 2, let me know. And if you did learn something from this video, smash like. Other than that, I'll catch you later.
Hi YouTube. Please leave a subscribe and drop a fat like.